So, I want to do some updating and explaining uh, about my current living conditions. I've been spending the last year out on the road traveling across all across the country, primarily through the East Coast of the United States of America. Currently, I've toured over half of the country. I have seen things that I can't even describe, places that have been absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. I had a 3,000 square foot house last year, well, the year before last, and I left that house in pursuit of traveling the country. I had bought a 27-foot motor coach specifically aimed towards a vintage collector's item, a 37-year-old bus, 27-foot long, an absolute classic Chevrolet Champion motor coach. It is I can't even describe to you how fun it was. Um, but I traveled the country and I came back. I found a beautiful, gorgeous piece of land that some connections of mine allowed me to park the bus on and sit on for several months. Um, there was a lot of complications in traveling. I had plans to go see some family members and some different things. I had some problems in my relationship with my travel partner. Uh, the gas for those things, my bus gets 6 miles to a gallon. Yeah. Yeah, it's not diesel or anything. It's regular gas, but it gets like 6 miles to a gallon. And well, I haven't actually been able to find a place that's actually been able to give it an accurate weight because it's a 37-year-old bus and it was made back when America actually made real steel. It is heavy as shit. It is huge. It's massive. It's a fully self-sustainable home on wheels. It has its own bathrooms, bedrooms. It's a motor coach. It drives itself. It has its own driving area, its own cockpit, if you will. Um, its own kitchen, bathroom, everything. It has everything. Basically, a house on wheels and axles. And I parked it, and I had some problems with the tires because, you know me, I didn't put it up on chalk, so I left it out on the mud in a very humid valley out in Montville and Thaxton, Virginia. Gorgeous fucking place. I can't even describe it. It's gorgeous out there. Um, uh, and it sat for a little while. It had some tire issues, slight motor issues. But eventually I said, I think it's time to retire this old dinosaur and just convert it to a tiny house and just use it as my secluded little cabin in the woods. And so that's what I did with it. Um, I sat out there for quite a while. I spent about 1 to 3 months or so living without electricity, spending majority of the winter living without heat, literally lighting with lanterns, powering my phone with solar charger, $35 on Amazon. Check it out, solar phone chargers. Every household in America needs one. Just throwing that out there. But I met a girl. Sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth here. I met a woman who I knew previously. Me and her formed a relationship. She has two wonderful kids. She has a big, wonderful family. And so I slowly kind of inched my way out of the woods and out of the self sustaining uh, pioneers kind of style, lifestyle, if you will. And, went back inside. We're currently looking for a new place. Well, we're currently looking from a place. She is in nursing school. She's currently works for the hospital here in our area, one of the largest hospitals on the East Coast at the moment. She's actually striving to become a travel nurse. Myself personally, I was in the modeling industry for probably about the last 4, 5, 6 years. I don't even know how long it's been. Um, and um, I've went back to, some retail work, some pretty general work, kind of integrating myself back into regular life. Um, and Currently, I'm looking to invest in another plot of land by the end of the year. I'm currently looking for about 5 to 10 acres. Um, and really just looking at some, ways of getting that general credit built up, the capital, so I can obtain that land plot and convert it over into some passive income. My personal preference was to do commercial equipment storage on one half of that land or a campground, because you know me, um, and then actually reside in the other half. She's not too keen on it, but I'm going to be building a cabin in the woods again, whether it be for temporary use or, whatever the case. So we're currently looking for a new house. We're currently in her family's home giving some assistance with everything. Doing some remodels, some general things, just to, be a helping hand as a fella, just being useful. Um, and well,
Are you sure you don't want to call it trades on
um,
someone, John?
I ended up, I ended up making the decision that I wanted to go to work for the Parks and Recreation, or the Blue Ridge Parkway, or some form of wildlife. I want to get into wildlife conservation and trying to develop a primarily non-profitable YouTube channel to try to give people information on how to get outside, how to get outdoors, how to kind of take a few steps back from our society, which has become so rapidly advanced, and go back out into nature. You do not have to spend a lot of money to travel. You don't. All right, these rich old white folk that are in their 50s and 60s, you see traveling all over the country. It's not as expensive as you think. Gas is crazy, but outside of that, it's a fairly there's pretty cheap ways of doing it, pretty practical ways of doing it that you can do. And if you like, subscribe, follow, and keep up with me. Um, you'll be able to see a little bit more of just how I'm actually able to get away with doing that, because I rarely use money. I went from having $4,500 plus monthly expenses, like monthly requirements for just everything, um, to, I mean, at the last point I kept record, I had a $300 monthly requirement for income. And it's at points probably less than that. And um, but like I said, with that land plot, I'm looking to, build cabins, Airbnbs, campground, whatever I really can, just to try to pass down my beliefs and my tricks of the trade, if you would say, to show people how to, take a step back, take a week off of your job, go out, enjoy nature, cut off the HVAC, cut off the TV, cut off these things, go out into, nature and enjoy it. Listen to the wind in the trees, smell the air, look at the landscape, visit something beautiful. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to take trips out to Vegas. You don't have to spend, we rented out a house last year. It was $3,000 for 1 week to stay in a 3-story lake house. This thing had, It had elevators inside the house. It had, I'll probably actually post some videos of that. But it was immaculate. But that was kind of a treat. I normally don't do that. Most of my traveling has been in a motor coach where I really never had to abide by rules. I'm not going to pay people money to go enjoy nature and pay for a campground. My vehicle is so large that you can't really tow it. You have to get a wrecker to move it. And by that time, I'm moving on down the road, um, working off of my cell phone. So primarily, I didn't even have a job. I didn't even have a source of income. I didn't really have anything. I didn't have an address. I didn't pay taxes. I didn't do any of these things that we're so, bred to do modern day. Um, and so, yeah, now I'm kind of back inside. I'm kind of moving back into the workforce. I'm moving back into the more traditional lifestyle that most of us are more familiar and accustomed with. Um, it sucks ass. It sucks ass. I was my own boss. I employed over 20 people globally for the past 5 years. I made whatever amount of money I want, anywhere from $100 a month to $5,000 a month, just depending on what I wanted to make to meet my, needs. And, now I'm going back to working for $10 to $17 per hour. It blows, but it's all an investment towards the next step. And I never used credit. I never went into debt. I grew up poor in the housing projects with a lot of limitations. So I just, I never buy something that I couldn't afford. I always, busted my ass, worked hard, paid cash for what I needed, and went from there. And so now I'm indulging and getting into certain things and investments that are substantial form of money. When actually buying land, you're talking about 30 plus $1,000 and above. So it's good to have a line of credit. It's good to have financial advisors, attorneys, and a team of people who can really put their heads together to go the right direction. And as I do that and as I obtain that information, I try to bring that to the table for other people so that they can use it to move forward and utilize it themselves. Skip the research, follow me a little bit, listen to my fucking rants, and you can see the way I do it, my little tricks of the trade. Um, and you can comment yourself and give me also tips to help me move forward. And you know, and uh, yeah, it's just a general update of how I've been doing, what I've been doing. I ran into some recent, health issues that I had to localize in the city for, for a little bit longer than expected so that I could get some medical treatment and get better, get diagnosed and get better. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just my little rant of how I've been doing, what I've been doing. You may see me here in an actual house indoors, which not very fond of, but it's all part of the process and it's all part of the next chapter, the next saga, the next era, and everything. So keep in tuned, keep up, and yeah. Hopefully, I can take you every little step of the way of showing you exactly what I do, how I do, and the reasons why. The reasons why I believe in traveling, the reasons why I believe in self sustainability, the reasons why I believe in self insurance, um, and just taking care of things yourself. You don't have to work 60 hours a week to be able to survive. You know, um, a $2 pack of seeds can grow $1,000 worth of food. You can spend $1,200 in solar. You don't have to spend several thousand. You can spend like $1,200 worth of solar and do away with your $400 a month light bill forever. Forever. And I can show you just kind of how I went about doing things and how I plan to go about the new things. And yeah, hopefully I didn't rant too long and bore the shit out of y'all. So keep up, follow me, give a like, give a subscribe, share with your friends, comment, give me some feedback as far as where you think, what you think, and we'll travel down this road together. And hopefully you'll see me working for the helping in wildlife conservation. I might be building the next trails that you, your children, and their children might be traveling on weekends. Maybe uh, preserving a species of plant or animal, for decades to come. And just trying to do my little bit of part to assist God and nature and myself and my newly arranged loved ones. And yeah, so keep up, show love. I didn't understand what you said. Besides, it's